Unicorn Overlord. Does it live up to the hype of Vanillaware titles? I just finished this game as of recording this video. I finished it last week, and I have to say it has become one of my favorite tactical SRPGs I have played. As a huge Fire Emblem fan, it just completely blew me out of the water. I'm gonna do like a mini review. We're gonna break it down by different categories, talk about it. But if you are a fan of SRPGs, even if you're not a fan and you are just considering Unicorn Overlord, well, let me tell you that there is a very large demo for this game. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just kind of baffled that they released a demo that you can play for 7 hours. Doesn't include the time that you're in menus too. Yeah, you can give it a try. It's there for free. But again, we're not sponsored. I just really loved this game and I would love it to get more attention, honestly. Like, all Vanillaware titles just don't get enough attention in my opinion. So I want to start off with the category of the game progression over time. Does it get old? Does it get stale? How does the game mechanics evolve over the course of the game? I am happy to tell you that this game literally never gets old. This game develops strategies consistently over the course of the game in like the most genius ways too. The way the maps are designed, as you go through different countries and you're seeing new types of enemies, you constantly have to change your formations, you have to change your way of thinking to more effectively get through maps. You can get through it without changing much, kind of like I did. I didn't change too much of my formation, but you're definitely gonna struggle the more that you don't adjust to the enemies that you're fighting over time. As the jobs progress and you eventually get promoted, they also play differently. So what once was a job that you were a frontliner, whenever you promote, you could actually end up being a backliner. Like, one singular job can change between all different types of formations based on how you adjust your skills, what equipment you give said character, and what other characters that they are with, what other jobs that they are with in a set party. It is quite literally genius. The introduction of the game has like a fantastic balance of like, it's easy enough for you to get through it with learning the basic mechanics, and it gives you the customization and the freedom right away, but like without overwhelming you. Every single playthrough that you watch of somebody playing this game is going to be vastly different, and that is what I love even about like 13 Sentinels, even though that's very story based and not as gameplay based. But yeah, every time you watch somebody go through the game, it's going to be vastly different based off of which characters they choose to follow their stories from in the beginning. That was a terrible way of wording it. We're just gonna go with that. You get what I mean. And for Unicorn Overlord, you get so many characters. Everybody is going to be using different characters, different combinations, different jobs. There's just so much you can do in this game that it is actually crazy. Like, there is a lot of customization right at the start, but there is also no pressure. You can dabble and change a little bit at a time as you progress, but there's no pressure to understand and customize everything right off the bat. Next, I'm gonna talk about the replayability factor, which kind of ties into the game progression that I just talked about. Because there's so many different ways to play this game, obviously you could play this game like an infinite amount of times, trying different things out every single time, different strategies, different characters, different approaches. You could try so many things, it is crazy. Like, if I had to choose one game to play for the rest of my life, it would probably be Unicorn Overlord at this point, because the replayability is insane. I could just have so much fun trying out different things consistently, and that just excites me so much. It reminds me of like my old Fire Emblem days. Every time I would play a new Fire Emblem game, I would replay almost every Fire Emblem game 2 to 3 times, because I would play them in different ways. Because usually Fire Emblem, you could do that kind of thing. Unicorn Overlord, I could definitely do the same thing, but maybe like multiply that by like times 10. It's crazy. I could play this game forever. Now we're gonna talk about the story, which is probably one of the lower points of the game, but the developers intended it to be that way. Like, the story is pretty cheesy, pretty generic, but it's generic and cheesy in a way that I never minded, honestly. It's not like Fire Emblem Engage, where you're getting not only like a super kind of generic and corny story and cringy story. Engage is very tropey anime bullshit that's like 500-year-old cheese that you never even want to look in the general direction of said cheese from how bad it's gonna smell. Unicorn Overlord is not that. It's a generic good story. You're gonna get some plot twists, but like you're not gonna get anything like absolutely mind-blowing with the story because the focus is very much on the gameplay. The story serves its purpose that it creates a world and it creates this setting where the gameplay can make sense and be super fun and engaging in. And that is all you need. You just need like a pretty package. The story is like the bow on top to the package that is the gameplay of this game. They specifically advertise this game as not being story heavy. Like this is not 13 Sentinels. With Unicorn Overlord, they're letting their audience know that the story is not the focus here. They wanted to focus on the gameplay, the replayability factor, the tactics. That's what they want to focus on, and the Vanillaware definitely achieved that. Next, I want to talk about the characters, which goes along with the story. I actually still love these characters, even though a lot of them are really basic bitches. Like, that's totally okay with me. This game has rapport, which is very similar to Fire Emblem support conversations, and you do get to choose a waifu, husbando, whatever. You could choose literally whatever character you want to marry and be with. That's cool. The report is done so well because it's very short and sweet conversations. They are not conversations that are going to take you longer than like 2 minutes. And I think that that is perfect. It gives you a sense of what that character is without overstaying its welcome, which I think is really important. And it gets you back into the gameplay because they know that you're not necessarily going to focus on all of those support conversations while playing this game. I just think the balance of story, characters to gameplay is perfect for my own liking. I don't need something super complex in everything that I play. I just need something that makes sense in the world with what I'm playing, and Unicorn Overlord absolutely delivers on that. And music? Yeah, music. Listen to the soundtrack. Music is yes. But overall, that's like my very, I didn't want to go too crazy into a review. This is very basic, but if any of these things interest you or align with you or resonate with you, definitely recommend Unicorn Overlord for any tactics fan. It, of course, is not a super perfect game. I actually think most people are complaining that the hardest difficulty might not be that hard, especially when you really get used to formations and characters and get used to their skills and stuff. I still think it's really fun to check out, despite the little criticisms that I see people jab at Unicorn Overlord. No game is perfect. This game, though, absolutely incredible feat that Vanillaware pulled off, and I am so happy for it. I'm glad that I got to play it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Check out Unicorn Overlord. Don't forget that there's a demo. And I am so looking forward to whatever Vanillaware puts out next. I want to go back and play the older games that people keep on talking about. I will get there one day, but Ace Attorney is in my very near future. But alas, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And play Unicorn Overlord. Bye!